Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nisa Ratna Sari, and today I want to share something fun and unusual from England's history. We all know that people use coins and paper money today, but did you know that in the past English people used some very strange things as money? In these presentations, I will tell you about bonds, wooden tokens, metal rings, and even animal parts being used like money. It's not something we learn in history class, but I think it's really cool to know. So let's get started with the first slide about before coins, barter, and everyday object. Long before official coins exist, people in ancient England used the barter system. This means they trade items directly, for example, grain for tools or eggs for clothes. And sometimes people used bonds, especially ship bonds or cattle bonds, as a unit of trade. They would carve little mark into them to keep track of value. To us, it sounds strange, but back then, bonds were common, like and easy to carry, and everyone agreed what they were worth. And I think this shows how creative people were. They didn't have gold coins, but they still found a way to trade and survive. For the next slide is the use of wooden money. Later in history, around the Middle Age, England used something called tallies or wooden stick as money. These were small pieces of wood with notches or carvings to record a debt or tax. The most famous were called tally stick, used by the English government itself. People would break the stick in half, one half when the person paying, the, the other of the person receiving. When the sticks matched the payment was proven. This is actually very smart, right? It's like an early receipt system but made from wood. It shows that even before paper and banks, people still trust system like this. For the next is metal rings and tokens. Metal rings and tokens. In some part of England, people use metal rings or lead tokens instead of coins. These were small, sometimes shaped like buttons or washers. Some had the symbol of a local lord or merchant. They were especially used in villages or markets where real coins were rare. rare. It worked like community money. Only people in the area accepted. This reminds me of gift card or local point system today. It's amazing how they create their own mini economy with these little tokens, right? For the next is animal part and natural currency. This might sounds the weird weirdest of all. People in some parts of medieval England used animal hide, teeth, or wool as a payment. Sheep wool, for example, was very valuable and accepted like money in markets. So, Why? Because wool was one of the England's biggest export at the time. In my opinion, this proves that money doesn't always have to be coins. If something is useful and valuable, people will trade it. People will trade it. Wool was wool was basically white gold for them. For the next is the evolution to modern currency. Of course, over time, England developed official coins and later paper money. The first royal mint was built, and money became more controlled by the government. But I think the older system, bonds, wood, and wool, tell us a lot about everyday life. They show they show us how regular people lived, traded, and survived. Personally, I find this topic really fun and eye opening. When we think of history, we often imagine kings and what is imagine kings and wars, but but this is about a real people solving real problems. It makes me think, if we live in this time, maybe we'd pay for snack with a piece of carved or a sip bun. And who knows, maybe in the future, people will think paper money is weird and everything will be digital. So, yeah, guys, for the conclusions, to sum up, England's history includes many creative and strange forms of money, from bones and wood to wool and tokens. People have always to found ways to exchange value. It teaches us that money is not about the object itself, but about trust, usefulness, and agreement. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope this made history a little more interesting and fun for you today. So, I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.